Fortunately, we have a very strong Aadhaar Act in our country. And this Aadhaar Act, if I say, it rules out the possibility of surveillance through Aadhaar in our country. Now, some of the provisions, if you see, and if you compare that with any other provisions in the contemporary laws, you will find that Aadhaar has much higher level of safeguards so far as the protecting the privacy and avoid the possibility of surveillance so far as the Aadhaar Act is concerned. Typically, if you see in some other laws, if let us say it could be a telephone tapping or something, there even as per the judgment of Supreme Court in 90s when Justice Kuldeep Singh was the Supreme Court judge, so he gave a judgment where he said that for tapping of telephone there are certain regulatory mechanism has to be there, right. The State Home Secretary or the Government of India's certain officers, they could do this. What has happened in case of an Aadhaar is that this level has been raised to the level of Cabinet Secretary, and there is a committee which is chaired by Cabinet Secretary, Secretary Law and Secretary IT. Only they can permit usage of Aadhaar or the biometric in case of a national security. The usage of Aadhaar or biometrics is completely out of bounds, even for the courts, for example. Now, it was reported, and we faced that problem, that in one case, Central Bureau of Investigation wanted the biometrics of residents of a certain state to figure out that who has committed a crime, right. So, CBI, not only CBI sent us a legal order to us, but CBI also got subsequently the order from a magistrate first, which we challenged. Then CBI also got order from a Bombay High Court, and we challenged that order of the High Court, and we went to the Supreme Court and got an stay, because that time Aadhaar Act was not there. So, even though when the Aadhaar Act was not there, we were very clear from the very beginning that all these biometrics and all this information which we are holding, they are not UIDAI's data, they are actually the data of people, and we are only a custodian or trustee of that data, and we cannot use it for any other purpose than the purpose which we have told them. Just few months back, we got an order from Madras High Court, and it was a case where former Chief Minister Jayalalitha's fingerprint was asked from us, right? You give a fingerprint of Jayalalitha, right? And we politely told the court that under the Aadhaar Act, I am not permitted to give this biometrics to anyone, right? And so that is the level of protection that has been built into the Aadhaar Act. Now, question arises that what happens supposing somebody misuses it? Because you can have a provision in the law and say that you can't do this. What happens if supposing somebody misuses it? Now, any unauthorized disclosure of biometrics or some information from the UIDAI side is a serious criminal offence and punishable with 3 years imprisonment. And no one has been given exemption. For example, if my own employees, and even if we do it, we also become subject to that the criminal procedure.